or often. Really?
Flew in this morning. No, I've been here since Monday. It's been good.
Rob is a web designer, amongst other things, a 90s punk rock lover. See, I read that video.
Well done, well done.
I'm not going to give too much away about what Rob is talking about. As you can see, how to strengthen your website landing pages. He's actually busy working on a course, which I'm sure he will touch on. Maybe a little bit. But yeah, we're going to have a quick Q&A at the end, so if you have any questions, you can hold it till then, unless Rob says otherwise. But thanks for joining us. Take it away. I'm going to squeeze through here.
Cool. Okay, so I'm just going to whiz through a bit of background on myself, and then I'm going to go through a very visual, there's a ton of slides. Don't worry about it. I'll share the link to download the slides afterwards, which you don't have to make notes, just relax. And then anything confusing afterwards, there's Q&A. And I'm going to be here for another hour or so, and we can just, anything you want to know about landing pages. Gets a little bit mysterious and vague, landing pages, a bit of a dark art. A lot of guys trying to con people and stuff. I'm a huge advocate of just transparency, clear visual landing pages. You're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so has anyone heard of this site called One Page Love? This will give a good context. No, okay. Yeah, we got Gary. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so just rewind quick to 2008. I was building websites for clients, a lot of WordPress websites, and I was super frustrated that clients would give me a half-page Word document and say, I need a 5-page website. And I couldn't find enough references to beautiful single-page websites to convince my clients. Why do we need to dilute this information in 5 pages, 5 clicks, just to get what they're after? So I spun up a WordPress website. I called it One Page Love, which is an appreciation for single-page websites. And I've kind of been adding and curating, collecting references to really well-built single-page websites. So I'm just going to go a little bit further. A single-page website has 1 page and not 2 pages, okay? So there's no contact page. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, it all makes sense. So everything is in a single canvas, often in a long scrolling design. Anyway, so I've become quite, obsessed with this niche of the internet. And since 2008, I've curated 8,000 websites. All myself, I now write reviews about them. I take screenshots. I'm trying to preserve really well-built landing pages, one-page websites. So fast forward 10 years of failing, trying to monetize the site, Google AdSense, bad advertising, sponsored posts, lots of failing. I have to emphasize failing. Like I failed for 10 years. But when I would add more value, when I would invest in longer scrolling screenshots that were retina optimized, people could just get that references, get that inspiration without leaving. They would return more. They would tell people about it. Traffic started to grow. More traffic, you get to experiment more. You can move fast. And about 2017, 2018, I monetized this site just to surpass my Cape Town expenses. And then it was peace, clients were done, no more freelancing, and now I work on the site full time. So now every month about 150,000 designers, developers, and makers arrive at the site, and they are trying to get good references to convince their clients, but also to build their own apps. A lot of people who are entrepreneurs are like, I need references to app landing pages. They'll come Google, app landing page, my site comes up. So let's just go straight into it, okay? And this is really will divide the crowd, but who doesn't know what a landing page is? Who doesn't know? Be honest. Excellent, Bruce. No, it's good because it's kind of a vague word and it's thrown around a lot. And the way I like to describe it is that a landing page is where we land up from any marketing effort. Okay, so it can be a one-page website, which is just the homepage. It can be a few pages deep, which is just for a product, deeper. So let's use an example. There's a business out there called LS Graphics, and they create beautiful digital goods. And their Instagram ad here says, enhance your presentations with our beautiful clay mock-ups. You know, these are blank devices and so on. When you swipe up on the Instagram ad, you don't arrive at their home page with all their digital products. You're going to arrive at the clay mock-ups landing page. So that's a landing page. And it's worth noting that a really good landing page has just one objective. So this is a goal like a sign up, a download, a sale. And you'll see here is that on the left, this is a landing page that's not good because it's got 3 different call to actions. They're trying to get someone to do 3 different things. A good landing page has just one objective. Okay, so let's just take a look at the Clay Mockups landing page. In the top navigation, download. Below the hero, download. In the pricing table, download. Does anyone know Ali Abdaal, the YouTuber? He provides a lot of educational content. Okay, cool. So he created this service called Hey Friends. And Hey Friends helps you do the heavy lifting for YouTube editing. Okay, and you'll see he announces it in a beautiful landing page. And call to action in the header, join the waitlist. Below the hero, join the waitlist. In the pricing table, join the waitlist. What he didn't say is join my YouTuber Academy. He didn't say buy my ebook. Because what happens is it dilutes the messaging. You know, every single item within his landing page is trying to persuade you to act. And that is funneling you down to the one call to action. So again, the beauty of a landing page is the single canvas to persuade someone to act. Okay, everyone know what a landing page is? Yeah, cool. How you doing? Okay, so Rob, how do we create strong landing pages that actually convert? How do we get people to actually act in a page? And I've got bad news for you. It all depends. What we need first is we need to build foundation with context. Okay, so we need to understand everything about the person, what they want in your page. So who's your demographic, what problem they have, and how does your offering solve this? So this is one of those things where, you know, you're in your Notion or all your Word docs and so on, and you just write these down. This needs to go to paper. You need to physically, you know, carve this out, put it on the wall, stare in it. This really helps you understand what you need to have in your page and where it's going to go. So demographic, moms with toddlers, okay? What's the problem? Toddler's heavy. Sore lower back. Solution? Ergonomic baby carrier. So I know this sounds trivial, and I'm going to say this a few times, but here's the mom with the problem. You've got the solution. Now you have to transport yourself into their shoes, not your shoes, into their shoes. And you need to ask yourself, what would that mom need to see visually and read to be persuaded to act? You're so deep in this journey, you're so set on all the specifics and all the technical side of what you've just built. You're not seeing it from their point of view. So again, what would this woman need to see and read on a Sunday morning, reading a newspaper to buy that ticket to go overseas? So with her, let's just do it quick. I know we're on a short talk, but anyone want to just take a guess on what a mom would want to see, not read, see in a landing page to be quite persuaded that this baby carrier is any good? What would they want to see in this page? Empathy is correct. And visually, how would you put that in the page? So, yeah. So, would you want to see her? Yeah, like you've touched on such a good point. But you want to see product shots, right? Yeah. Like, so imagine in the page I just said, "Hey, this is a great baby carrier." It's not that convincing, right? And just speak to me quick about the actual photography. You know, you want to see someone with using the product, okay? Yes, good. You guys are touching on all the good stuff. And a happy baby, yeah, because it's not all awkward. But just with the baby exactly. So, yeah, okay, we're getting somewhere, Gary. So like if I was just to go a little bit deeper, if we're doing like a full 3-day workshop or so on, you know, you worry about quality, you know, you'd want to see things like the stitching. You know, I want to see little zoom-ins, you know, show me the padding and so on. And read, we're going to get all on this, but I need to be convinced that this actually helped other moms. So this is just a freestyle in the workshop. Okay, so there's 3 ways to persuade someone in a landing page. Okay, this is quite broad. Everything is more nuanced. Everything needs context, but these are really easy to remember. Okay, so you can either just tell them, like we're saying with the baby carrier. So this is just copywriting. Hey, this is the best. Okay, or you could get others to tell them in your landing page. So this is your testimonials. This is your customer ratings. This is your social proof. And naturally, a little bit more convincing. Other people, this is actually, helping. And best of all, and this is where I truly love to hang out online, and I want to try Spotlight this as much as possible, is the strongest way to persuade someone in a landing page is to actually show them. So that's with your product photography, your explainer videos. This is through your how it works infographics and so on. Make them understand, in the page exactly what they're about to buy. Again, you can just, show them. You can tell them, you get others to tell them, or you can invest in showing them. Okay. Does anyone know what CleanShot X is? Anyone used it? No? It's basically a screenshot capturing tool. Okay, so it can record your screen. There's tons out there, but how are they going to persuade you that their one is any good? Okay, so first of all, they have this intro copy that says, capture your Mac screen like a pro, telling. Okay. Below that, they have a testimonial, and it says, CleanShot is a super powerful replacement. Here's someone else telling you. And then they have an explainer video showing you. And best of all 3 above the fold, all complementing each other. That's a sign of a real strong landing page. No need to scroll, and you're already getting everything you're after. Okay, so I touched on this earlier, but I've inspected 8,000 sites, and what founders often do is they obsessed with that, those details and those specifications, and they like to use big words, they like to use jargon, they like to sound fancy. No one wants that at all in a landing page when they arrive. They want to understand, and the goal with a landing page is not to persuade someone with as much as possible, as many words, as many images, 12 video testimonials. No one wants that. The goal with a good landing page is to persuade with less and not more. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go through these 3 types to persuade. Again, all of them is just like general, everything is more nuanced, but copywriting, you're telling them. Is anyone here a copywriter, by the way? No one? Is anyone involved in writing copy for websites or ads or so on? Okay, yeah. Hardcore, respect. It's very difficult. Okay, and I'm not even going to pretend I'm a copywriter, but there's 3 sort of pillars I like to, stick to when it comes to copy that really helps just guide me. Okay, so the 3 pillars: transformation. Okay, take me to the end with the copy, like you guys touched on now. It's really good. It's like you want to know that the people are happy. Okay, keep it concise, no fancy words. And then if you can make that copy feel like it's tailored for me when I arrive, like, wow, this is specific for this product, that's you really on your way. So transformation, just a really easy way to understand it, is like, think of it as the end, the result. Who will they become? What will they be able to do? Where will you take them? So it's not about becoming a medic, learning Notion, master SEO, go to Jeffreys Bay. It's about saving someone's life, be more productive, increase your organic traffic, and surfing Supertube. This is an easy one to remember. Okay, so this is the most basic example ever, but it'll stick with you forever, is Colgate toothpaste. It's not about the actual toothpaste at all. It's not about owning a lot of toothpaste. It's about the power of a smile. That's the point of the toothpaste, okay? So it's not about the ingredients. It's about what will happen once, exactly, okay? So a lot of landing page advice and courses you're going to read, and people are going to say, oh, the intro copy needs to relate to the user's problem. A lot of people say, and I challenge that, because I don't want to arrive and the visuals are like, this is you, this is your problem. I want to know that I can smile with confidence again. Because what happens when I arrive and you're showing me the end, the transformation, is that I'm way more convinced, and I don't have to do that much reading. Because don't forget, is that when you're back here, it's like, oh yes, my teeth are, and then we're on our journey. A lot of old school landing pages are those very long text driven ones, and they work, sure, but this is where I think landing pages are going with attention spans plummeting to nothing. No one wants to read an essay when they arrive on a page. Okay, so again, just touching on the bottom two, concise and tailors. Does anyone know what an epaulet is? Yeah, epaulet, got two here. They're these little frilly things that guards have on the shoulders, okay? Yeah, so these little, like over here. And I like to big myself up as the surfer who surfs super tubes, but the truth is I was late for the Dorney this morning because I heard this bird in the back bush and I couldn't work out what it was, and it stalled me for about 15 minutes. So I'm like a super nerdy bird watcher that no one knows. And what I know and what a lot of people don't know is that certain types of year, our southern double-collared sunbird has something called an epaulet that comes out. It's their breeding plumage that comes out, okay? So again, this is the end. Yeah, exactly. So this comes out, and if I was looking for a pair of binoculars, if I arrived at this landing page that said Nikon Monarchs, 8x42, certain price, there it is, good price, how am I going to feel arriving at this versus experience the detailed epaulets? This is an ad, just say that it's come from Facebook, that I'm subscribed as like a bird nerd club or whatever, and I arrive. No, I just made this up, yeah. But again, like you'll remember this example because people want to sway you with specs and jargon and so on, and like this is concise and it's tailored to me. Okay, so again, it doesn't say, has your baby cooked your back? It says, step out into the world again. I know you already touched on this, and this is the imagery you'd want to see in the landing page with the woman. Look how easy that looks,
I want to do that.
Okay, great.
I wish I had a baby.
You guys are going to get this for sure. Okay, so I'm going to whiz through this quick. Second one, let others tell them. This is your social proof, customer ratings. I'm going to share these slides with you guys. It's, opinion leaders, client logos, press, and so on. And just quickly, what makes a really good testimonial? A lot of people will just put every single testimonial they ever got in their landing page, okay? And you must just realize is that it becomes noise, okay? Your goal is to handpick the testimonial that either highlights some form of feature or it answers some doubt, okay? So let's just take a look at a good one. This is a poor one, and you'll see this everywhere. Janelle's newsletter operating system product is awesome, okay? It just fills everything, okay? But what's good? A good one is Janelle's newsletter operating system, which is a Notion product, helped me grow my list, and I picked up my first sponsor. Think of the transformation, the end where you can go if you commit to acting in this page. And another one highlighting a feature, it includes an interactive checklist, etc., etc. Okay, so third of all, show them. It's my favorite. And good examples, explainer videos, high quality screenshots, previews, downloads, etc., etc. And I just want to know if anyone, I know another screenshot tool, but did anyone know about Screen Studio? It's another capturing, yeah, nice one, Gary. So what happens when you arrive at this page versus the other one I showed you earlier? Okay, so this is a screen capturing tool. Is when you arrive, and this is not animated, this video actually moves, is there's the founder, and it shows this demo of him scrolling around, and as he scrolls around, as he moves around, it zooms in to the interface. And that is their unique selling proposition, is that this is a screen capturing tool that you don't have to edit afterwards to zoom into certain parts of your screen capture. It automatically does it for you. So he has highlighted his main selling points before I've even scrolled at all, okay? And then at the point of watching this video, I'm so impressed because I can see exactly how this works, okay? But I'm asking myself, I wonder what the interface looks like for editing. I wonder how complicated it is because I'm quite happy with my tools already. And all you do is scroll a little bit more, and this actual screencast that you're watching transforms into the actual interface on the page. So I wish I could show you video. It's screen.studio. I'll share it afterwards. But what he's done is I haven't read one word. I haven't read one word, and it's like I've just seen his, his main points. I've scrolled and he's answered the doubt. What does the interface look like? Just straight away. Okay, so quick way, other ways to show them in a device. You sell your meditation app for iPhone. You can either just tell them, hey, this is a really good meditation app to get other people, or you can actually put that interface in a device, download button to the right. You feel like I'm that close. All I need to do is click the button and we're on our way there. Another way is a productivity tool. In the top, you're wondering how much real estate does it actually take when I'm working? It's a time tracker. Here it is. Here's the screen. It's cut out. A selling point on this note-taking app is that you can easily switch between desktop view and mobile view. I wonder what it looks like. There's your to-do list in the actual device. So skeuomorphism, this is about, bringing a real-world design aesthetic into digital. And I have an ebook, and a lot of people had commented that they loved the cover. I tilted to the side, I added a drop shadow. The book's only digital, but it makes you feel like you're about to buy a book. You're selling a print. Why not put a little bit of, a little bit greenery in front of it? Make it feel like, oh my word, I'm that much closer to the end of what I'm about to buy. And on a course, as you scroll to the bottom of the landing page, there's the actual certificate that you will get. And in the middle of the certificate, it says unlock access. And that triggers off buying the page. So it's very clever stuff. Anyway, if there's one thing, and I'm just going to wrap things up soon. If there's one thing I want you to take away is this phrase, visual transformation. Okay? Attention spans turning to nothing. And if you can truly showcase and summarize, how you are helping someone and taking them to the end visually, you're on your way. Okay, so a very basic example again. We're going to go back to toothpaste, but here we've got yellow teeth and we've got white teeth. You're not going to forget about this. But what makes it really way more realistic is if you can bring a little bit of context of what it will take, and you tell them twice a day for 6 weeks, yellow to white. So think of arriving at this page, and I'm not saying this got any good design to it, but think of how long it took you to understand what it's going to take to get this done. And here we have blurry epaulets and crispy epaulets. So that's how I'd like to see them in the page. So this is with my standard binoculars, but if you get the Nikon M5s, there's the crispy. Okay, so to recap quick, okay. You need to set one objective to your page, not two, okay? Every single thing that you need to do in the beginning stages is you need to write it down on a piece of paper. Get offline. It's not going to embed in your brain, and it's not going to help you sort everything, okay? And who is the person? Who's the demographic? What problem they have? How does your offering solve it? What would they need to see and read to be persuaded to act? Tell them. Copywriting, transformation, concise, make it feel it's tailored. Then you need others to tell them. Handpick those testimonials that highlight features and answer doubts. Take the best testimonial from an opinion leader. Maybe someone who's arriving at your page recognizes that person that you've helped. Right above the fold. It's the first thing they read. It's that little strengthened bit. And then thirdly, best of all, is you show them. You invest in those visuals. It's the most difficult. Photography is difficult, but pay someone for good product photography in your page, and you will get that ROI. I promise you that. And it'll separate you from most other competitors. Okay, so I'm not here to sell anything. My course is not ready, but I got the domain showthem.com. I had to eat Marmite on toast for like a month just to afford this beautiful .com. It's coming out on November 19th. And yeah, we can actually hook up a coupon discount for everyone here. Yeah, let's do that. And yeah, I'm Rob Hope on Twitter. I'm around for the next hour if anyone wants to discuss anything about websites. Hope you got a little value. And thanks. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love it. Yeah. Good thing.
I'm going to open up the floor to
Okay.
the questions. Anybody have-
Feel free to leave, go cruise, there's waves. Yeah. Yeah, it's a really big topic at the moment because you're also asking yourself how corrupt a lot of these things are. You know, these platforms that people pay to get these ratings and so on. I think volume is a big thing. You know, if you can say out of 10,000 customers or whatever, 4.7 is fine. You know, like it's okay. But it's funny, like if you give an Uber a 4-star rating, he's like, why do you hate me? You know, like what did I do? You know, it's either 4 or 5. You know, so rating in general is quite broken. Also, if you do somehow just arrive at a landing page that says 5 out of 5, also corrupt. You know, it needs to be a 4.98 or something like that. So what I like about so if anything with ratings is that you need to hard code that button or screenshot that button and put it on your site. Do not let it load everything from those like Facebook and TripAdvisor and stuff, because they have so many scripts. It slows down your page incredibly, and if anything, it's maybe collecting some information. So what you need to do, and what I really like about those, is that it is huge social proof, though. It's like if someone has actually written 1,000 reviews about something, it's big. It's really big. I would say with a tourist coming to a different country and like they know about TripAdvisor, it's also like, are you trying to target that certain person? It's huge. I got a friend who does seal snorkeling in Hout Bay in Cape Town, and like his game is TripAdvisor. You know, like if he doesn't have that in his page, it's a mistake. I don't think it's for everyone. I think if you don't have a lot of ratings, don't put it there at all. Spread the ratings as well. You know, like don't just put in one. Put in a few. Any press coverage is useful as well. They kind of like bundle it together. Mentioned in the newspaper, was on the TV, and also we have a rating of 4.7 on that. I kind of like that spread. That's just like one glance, skim them all, carry on reading. A lot of emphasis, but to your point, are ratings important? Yes, they're still important. Funny because our main sponsor is Webflow, and we've joked about moving the entire thing to Webflow, but it's just okay. There's that legacy code. I started in 2008. Like think of like how the code's changed considerably, but WordPress does a fantastic job, and I'll give it all the credit. I coded it myself, and I made it ultra lean. I've invested heavily because we have. With all the people that come every month, and I'm certain that a big reason why they return is because it's ultra fast, and I have taken no shortcuts in making the site fast. So there's no pop-up sign up to our newsletter. There's nothing that loads. It's just like your image CDN. So third-party images, good hosting, and when you arrive, it's just infinite scroll. And like that's what, I could give a full talk on monetizing a website and building a side project, but a huge thing is that you need to create the site that you'd want to arrive at. Okay, so again with your landing pages, we can go there now, is that you're not going to appreciate slow loading, rating scripts loading all the time. 12 testimonials that are all video, that are embedded with YouTube, and like half of them say this is awesome. That sucks. And like when I arrive and I'm in discovery on a product or something, like I need it to the point. So I need to create that on the internet. It's like I want the internet to be a good place. No one's got time for that. So yes, WordPress, staying with WordPress, it's ultra fast. I'm a fan.
One more question.
Yeah.
What is your revenue model for One Page Lab?
You want to go there, huh? Okay, we're gonna chat about that afterwards because I've literally given an hour talk on that. Yeah. Anyone want to chat privately about their landing pages and like anything they're struggling with, or even like, marketing wise, I've been doing it a long time. We could just like pull me aside. Just anyone who's got anything they're struggling with a landing page, like I'm around. You don't have to chat about it publicly.
Thank you so much, Rob. Really appreciate it.
Cool. Yeah, rad.